5. And D is going to be positive 2. Now it's negative 2. And I could check it because it says D prime, negative 2, 5, negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, coordinates are always x, comma, y. Okay? The next part says, describe the reflection as over the x-axis or over the y-axis. So this is saying, this is my original, and this is my new one. This is where I started, and the arrow is saying we're going to that one. So I'm looking, it says 1, 1, negative 2, 2. So which one stayed the same? The x stayed the same because the x is 1, and it stayed positive 1. So if the x stayed the same, that means it reflected over the x-axis. If you want to think of it differently, which one changed? It changed the y, and it's always the opposite. So whichever way you want to remember it. So the x stayed the same, that means it's the x-axis is what it reflected over. So it's reflected, on the right, it reflected over the x-axis. And now hit pause while you guys try number 4 and 5. Use your foldable notes to help you. Hit play when you're ready to check them. So number 4, x stayed the same, y changed. So once again, it reflected over the y, which axis? The x stayed the same, so it's going to be over the x-axis. And then number 5, the x's are different. The y's are the same. So since the y's are the same, it was a reflection over the y-axis. So the one that stayed the same, that's the axis that it reflected over. So you guys try number 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then hit pause, and then when you're done, come back and watch and see how you did. So what are the coordinates of the point x prime after reflection over the y-axis? So the original x was 4, 2. We're going over the y-axis. So from this practice that we just did on 3, 4, and 5, I know that if it's reflecting over the y-axis, the y is going to stay the same. So x prime is going to have y as 2. And then the x is going to be the opposite. So it started out positive 4. Now it's going to be negative 4. What are the coordinates of the point y prime after reflection over the y-axis? So these are all y-axis. So y prime, I'm going to go ahead and do 8 is z prime. If it's over the y-axis, I know the y has to stay the same. So it started out as 4, and it started out as 2. And then you just have to do the opposite. So it says positive 4, the opposite, negative 4. Here, it said 0, 2. Well, the opposite of 0 is 0. There is no positive or negative, so that one's going to stay the same. And then it says graph the image of triangle XYZ after reflection over the x-axis. So I'm just going to use my points that I already wrote down. I know z didn't change, so z is z prime, and it's both. And so now I'm going to go to negative 4, positive 4. So negative 4, positive 4, and that's y prime. Then my x is going to be negative 4, positive 2. So start at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then I can connect my triangle. Since I told you guys to try this first, it's very possible you did it differently than me. I could have also, I knew it was reflecting over the y-axis, and so I could have started here and counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start here and count the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's my point. Same thing for the x and the x prime, 1, 2, 3, 4, go back to my y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's on the axis, so that's why Z stays there. Okay? You have one more practice to do, and then that should be it for the day. So good luck with the practice.